Perry Bamonte, influential Cure guitarist and keyboardist, dies at 65. Band remembers him as a warm-hearted and vital part of the Cure story. Perry Bamonte, the quietly influential guitarist and keyboardist whose musicianship and behind-the-scenes dedication helped shape the Cure for decades, has died at age 65 after a brief illness. His death occurred at home over Christmas 2025, the band confirmed Friday, December 26th, in a statement posted on its official website. Remembering Bamonte, The Cure described him as quiet, intense, intuitive, constant, and hugely creative, adding that he was a warm-hearted and vital part of the Cure story. For a band whose sound and image evolved continually over more than 4 decades, Bamonte's steady presence, often understated, always purposeful, left an imprint that fans and fellow musicians recognized instantly. Born Perry Arcangelo Bamonte in London on September 3, 1960, his path to becoming a member of one of Britain's most influential bands began not on stage but behind it. According to Variety, Bamonte entered the Cure's orbit in 1984 as part of the road crew, thanks in part to his brother Daryl, who worked as a tour manager. Bamonte soon became Robert Smith's personal assistant and guitar technician, a role that allowed him to observe the band's inner workings up close while quietly earning Smith's trust. That proximity proved crucial. By the late 1980s, Bamonte was already an essential figure within the Cure's touring operation, credited in programs as backline, assistant tour manager, and guitar technician. His musicianship did not go unnoticed. When keyboardist Roger O'Donnell departed in 1990, Bamonte officially joined the band as a full-time member, stepping into a creative role during one of the Cure's most important periods. Although initially brought in as a guitarist, Bamonte's versatility quickly became apparent. As Rolling Stone later noted, he played guitar, keyboards, 6-string bass, and occasionally percussion, adapting seamlessly as the band's arrangements demanded. In a telling detail from those early days, Smith's sister Janet helped teach Bamonte keyboards, an instrument he had only recently begun to learn. The episode underscored both his willingness to stretch creatively and the band's confidence in his ability to grow into the role. Smith, writing in a 1990 Cure newsletter, made it clear that Bamonte was no temporary addition. "Everyone who plays in the Cure is as permanent as you can be," Smith wrote. "If Perry/Teddy writes some stuff and it's good, we'll play it." The nickname Teddy, which stuck throughout Bamonte's time with the band, had its own origin story, reportedly stemming from a hotel check-in under the name Edward Van Menth and Bamonte's energetic presence on stage. Bamonte joined the Cure at a pivotal moment. His first major studio contribution came with Wish 1992, the band's most commercially successful album. He played guitar, keyboards, and 6-string bass on tracks that would become Cure staples, including Friday I'm in Love, A Letter to Elise, and High. The album captured the band at a creative peak, following the critically acclaimed Disintegration, and Bamonte later described the experience as exhilarating and formative. "Obviously, the fact that I had just joined the band has a lot to do with it," he said in a 2006 interview, reflecting on Wish as his favorite Cure album. But it came on the back of Disintegration. The band were really at their peak, and it really felt that way. It felt like the world was ours for the taking. His contributions extended well beyond Wish. Bamonte remained a central figure through subsequent albums, including Wild Mood Swings 1996, Bloodflowers 2000, Acoustic Hits, and The Cure 2004. In addition to his musical input, he also played a role in the band's visual identity, contributing to art direction and photography on select projects, another example of his wide-ranging creative involvement. Live performance was where Bamonte's presence perhaps resonated most clearly with fans. In a 1990 interview with Spin, he spoke candidly about the surreal experience of stepping on stage with The Cure for the first time. He recalled an unannounced outdoor show in Paris where word of the concert spread only hours before the band played. "That was the best thing for me," he said at the time. "It wasn't like going and having the hall filled up with Cure fans. That would have been more nerve-wracking. The comment reflected a musician still adjusting to the scale of The Cure's audience, even as he rose to meet its expectations night after night. As the band's lineup shifted through the 1990s, Bamonte adapted accordingly. When Pearl Thompson, now Pearl Thompson, left in 1994, Bamonte assumed the role of lead guitarist. When Roger O'Donnell returned the following year, Bamonte refocused primarily on guitar, anchoring the band's sound during an era of constant change. Over his initial 14-year run with The Cure, he performed at more than 400 shows worldwide, becoming a reliable fixture of the band's live identity. That chapter came to an end in 2005, when Robert Smith streamlined The Cure into a three. Both Bamonte and O'Donnell departed as a result of the reconfiguration. In a 2006 interview, Bamonte described the experience with characteristic candor. "I just feel something like relief," he said. "I agree that the circumstances were sad, but I had no control over that." He stepped away from music for a time, channeling his creative energy into a different passion, fly fishing. He became the artistic director of Fly Culture, a publication devoted to the sport, and spent a year largely outside the music industry. Eventually, however, he returned to performing, joining the band Love Amongst Ruin and playing on their 2015 album Lose Your Way. The project brought him together with musicians connected to acts like Placebo and Lamb, reaffirming his place within the broader alternative music community. Bamonte's contributions to The Cure were formally recognized in 2019 when he joined current and former band members for their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. For many fans, his presence at the ceremony served as a reminder of how integral he had been during some of The Cure's most successful and creatively rich years. His relationship with The Cure was not finished. In 2022, Bamonte rejoined the band for the Shows of a Lost World tour, which began in Latvia and continued through December 2023. According to Variety, he played roughly 90 shows during this period, delivering performances that many fans and critics regarded as among the strongest of the band's later years. His final appearance with The Cure took place on November 1, 2024, at London's Troxy during the Show of a Lost World concert. At the time of his death, Bamonte was slated to continue performing with the band at international dates through 2026, underscoring both his enduring importance to The Cure's live sound and the mutual respect between him and his bandmates. Footage from the 2022-2023 tour appears in a concert documentary currently in theatrical release, offering audiences a lasting record of his musicianship and stage presence. Although he did not appear on the studio recording of Songs of a Lost World 2024, his influence on the band's recent performances was widely acknowledged. Tributes from fans and fellow musicians poured in following news of his death. The Cure's statement captured the collective sense of loss. "Our thoughts and condolences are with all his family. He will be very greatly missed." Long before his association with The Cure, Bamonte's musical story had deep roots. He grew up in Basildon, where he attended school alongside Martin Gore, later a founding member of Depeche Mode. Although he felt discouraged from playing the guitar during his school years, Bamonte took up the instrument at 17 and quickly committed himself to music. His brother Daryl's work as a roadie for Depeche Mode helped open doors in the industry, eventually leading Perry to The Cure's touring operation in the mid-1980s. Despite his long resume and association with one of alternative rock's most enduring bands, Bamonte remained notably modest about his achievements. Colleagues often described him as reserved but deeply engaged, a musician who preferred to let the work speak for itself. That combination of humility, versatility, and dedication earned him quiet respect throughout the industry. For fans, Perry Bamonte's legacy lives on in the records he helped shape, the concerts he anchored, and the distinctive atmosphere he brought to The Cure during some of its most defining years. His contribution was not always loud or obvious, but it was constant, woven into the band's sound, its visuals, and its evolving identity. As The Cure's music continues to reach new generations, and as the concert documentary preserves his final performances, Bamonte's influence remains a vital thread in the history of alternative rock. In a career defined by collaboration rather than spotlight, he leaves behind a body of work and a reputation that speaks with lasting clarity.